Hello, Doña Ana County. This is Anita Skipper. I'm the Public Information Officer for Doña Ana County. We're back with a new episode. This time we have a distinguished guest, our County Treasurer, Eric L. Rodriguez. And
Hello,
he is here today to talk about property taxes. Yay!
Exciting stuff. Very.
Yes. We are going to talk about what's going on right now in the county. You've probably received some information about your property taxes. They are due soon. This is an opportunity to hear directly from the treasurer, as well as send us your questions. We want to respond to your questions live. I know there have been some posts going on social media, so we want to make sure, just as that information's been shared, please share this video for those who were not able to be here live. And if you're watching on replay, thank you so much for being here as well. So, Treasurer, thank you for being here with us today.
Anita, thank you guys for putting this together. Much appreciated. I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome. So there may be some people watching us today who have never met you. They're missing out, right?
Well, happy to tell you who I am.
So let's take an opportunity to introduce you to our audience.
Sure. So my name is Eric Rodriguez. I have been your county treasurer for the last 6 years. I got reelected to this position 2 years ago in the 2020 election. And part of my duties as a county treasurer is to collect property taxes, aside from managing the county's portfolio and managing all cash inflows and cash outflows. The property tax portion is the one that gets really exciting because we send out over 115,000 property tax bills every year. And so, as you can imagine, our office is tremendously busy during these tax seasons, and which is why we look for innovative ways to try to make our jobs a lot easier so that we could provide better customer service for the community, which is you, our taxpayer. And so, I hope we get into some of that stuff as to what we do provide and one of those services that we offer to the public to make their life easier, our life easier, and ultimately ensuring that important taxpayer dollars reach the necessary locations, which is our schools, our municipalities. This goes to our EMS services, our police officers, our firefighters. And so, that's one of the things I do is make sure that we get that funding to everybody that's needed it.
Well, thank you for that. And we absolutely will get into some of that. And I know you all have some great questions, so take out a pen or your phone or whatever you need to get those questions so that we can address them at the end. We do have people watching the line so that they can hand us the question. So, property taxes, yes, fun. So I want to start.
I have to laugh, sorry.
I want to start with the elephant in the room. So we are receiving our documents about property taxes being due. And
That's
they're
correct.
due when?
So property taxes are actually due in 2 installments. The state of New Mexico allows property tax owners to pay their property taxes. And the first half is due in November, delinquent by December 10th. So we always say as long as you pay it by December 10th, you're good. And then the second installment is due, or the second half is due on April 10th, late by May 10th. We are going into the second installment, or the second half of tax collection season, which we mailed out our tax bills on Monday. And people are already receiving those in the mail, and we're already getting some feedback. And this is why we're here to address some of those concerns, questions, and answer any other questions that you might have regarding property taxes in general.
Okay, make sure you guys don't remember that. You have a window, April 10, May 10.
Yep.
You are late by May 10.
Yes.
By 5 p.m. May 10?
Well, we usually like to extend our hours on the May 10th deadline to 6 p.m. If you do mail it and it's postmarked on May 10th, we will honor the postmarked date. So yes, just make sure you don't risk it. Come see us right away or use one of our payment options to pay your taxes early and just be stress-free for at least the rest of the year until November.
I like that. Stress-free.
Yeah.
So, Eric, you mentioned that there is some conversation going on. On the internet, we've been seeing a lot of you have received your documents, and you notice that there is a Los Angeles address along with the Doña Ana County tag on your paperwork. And some people are a little nervous about that. So I wanted to give you the opportunity directly from the treasurer's mouth and from the most accurate information, and not passing on information that might scare other people or confuse other people. So we're here today to clear it up. So beyond this point, if you hear something different, please share this video with someone and say, no, that's not exactly accurate. Here's the treasurer telling you exactly what we should be doing and what that means. So let's talk about it. The Los Angeles address that we're seeing on the tax bills. Why are we seeing this?
Well, first off, I have to say, I'm glad people are noticing. That means people are reading their tax bills,
Indeed.
which is excellent. Thank you guys for seeing that. And then secondly, let me just provide you with some peace of mind that the address is valid. You read it correctly. It is going to our Lockbox Service Center in Los Angeles. Now, what does that mean? Well, I want to answer that in three parts. The first part is, what is a lockbox service to begin with? Secondly, what was our process before? And finally, why and what is it that we've changed to now? So a lockbox service is very simply, or lockbox banking is very simply allowing the customer, in this case our taxpayers, you, to mail your payment or your check. Very important, actually, only checks, no cash. Please do not mail cash. Mail your check to our bank, and it gets to our bank account that much faster without there being a middleman. So Lockbox Service provides a more efficient, more streamlined way of allowing organizations like the county, bigger corporations out there, to accept cash accounts receivables, to accept cash payments. Any types of payments, and manage those from a large scale much faster, rather than having somebody literally open up an envelope, pull out the check, pull out the coupon, process it in the system. That's like a 3-5 minute processing those payments. We're processing over 115,000 a year. We have 5 tellers in our staff. You can imagine how overwhelming that would be. It would take us literally, and I calculated this, 3 months to process all our payments. And so in order to process your payment from 3 months to a day or two, we use these lockbox services that the bank provides to us. Our process before was that the return envelope that you would receive in your tax bill was to our P.O. Box address here in Las Cruces. And we would have our staff go and pick up the mail. We would receive the mail. We would sort it to sort everything that's non-payment and everything that was payment. And once we knew everything that was payment in the return payment envelope, we would not open them. We would then forward those in bulk to our lockbox center. In the last 2 years, it has been Los Angeles. So your payments have already been going to Los Angeles for them to post them there. What we've decided to do, and this is the final point that I want to get across on this lockbox, is what we're doing now is removing ourselves as a middleman, so that instead of the customer or the taxpayer mailing the payment to our office and then our office forwarding it to our lockbox service center, the customer mails their payments directly to our lockbox service center. What the lockbox service center, our bank, does is they receive the checks, they deposit it straight into our account, and on the coupon that you send with your return envelope will tell the bank to tell us who made the payment. We receive that list, and with the matter of 3 minutes, our staff is able to process thousands of payments into the tax system. Therefore, we still have control over the tax payment process. We still are processing your tax payments. It's just that the deposit is going straight into the bank account, making sure that your money is cleared much faster. We receive the money much faster. We distribute the money much faster to those entities that need the funds.
Very good. You guys got that? All right. So let's see. Highlight Los Angeles. That is correct. So it's not a scam. No one is seeking to steal your money. We are using this address. It goes directly to our lockbox.
Yes.
Because I did see some comments out there, people who were nervous thinking, oh my goodness, it says Doña Ana County, but Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and their flags went up, like you said, which is a
great.
great thing.
It's a good thing.
Because you are paying attention, and we appreciate that. We want you to hold us accountable, which is why we are here to make sure that you have the accurate information. The other part is faster. So this might also be a tip. Hey, if you're writing a check, make sure the money is there in the account really quickly, because it's going to happen faster than it would have locally. So that's
Yeah.
that's something to pay attention to as well. So make sure that it's available in your account. But you then have some people who are purists who say, no, I don't want to use that option. I know you gave me a coupon, but I've been doing it a different way. Maybe they've been coming in or mailing it, or they just feel more comfortable with a local feel.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
Well, I know that, sending your money out of town, out of state, and you seeing the Los Angeles address there, and some of the concerns that I've gotten was, why are we sending our money out of state? So we're not necessarily sending our money out of state. The Los Angeles address is just there because it's a processing center that our bank uses. It is not a treasurer's decision to send it out there. I didn't, proactively go and look for the service center out there. This is just happens to be where the bank's processing center is. Nevertheless, it just simply means your payment is processed much faster on our end. Your deposit is cleared much faster. The money stays within the community. Very important. We are not outsourcing any property tax collections. As a matter of fact, I'm statutorily bound to collect property taxes. Only me. I can't outsource that. And so, no, we are not outsourcing that process either. We are still receiving the payments here. We're just making sure that the money gets into the account much faster, and also more securely. From mailing from point A to point B, the customer to the post office or to us, and then from us to the lockbox service center, there's more probability that it's going to get lost in the mail. In this case, it provides a little more security for people's checks to make sure that nobody else is handling that except them and the bank that's depositing the money into our account. So yes, very important. We are not outsourcing our payment collection system. Your money is staying within the community, and it is being safeguarded through this whole process.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. But you know what? There's still somebody watching saying, I don't want to do that.
Sure.
So let's talk about some other options they have for submitting their payments.
Very excited to talk about our other options because I often recommend our other payment options. So if you do not want to use a snail mail and write the check out, the one option that I always suggest is using a bill pay service. This is most banks provide this service. If you have online banking, there's going to be an option there that says bill payment. You go in there and you enter our information, which we include that information here, our name, our address, and who the check's going to be made out to. And that doesn't cost you, the taxpayer, a penny. It's like writing a check, but you're doing it on the online platform from your bank. They offer it for free normally, and we get the money instantly. Literally within a couple hours, we know that the money already hit the bank account. And so that is probably the number one recommendation that I would suggest to our taxpayers is use your bill pay service that your bank offers you. If you don't want to use your bank service or you don't have online banking and you still want to pay us and you have a credit card, we have online banking services, and those unfortunately do come with the fee. The debit card service is like $3.95. There's a percentage fee for credit. And if you do online, the one that I would suggest is use the e-check option, which again is similar like writing a check. You enter your electronic check information, your routing and your account number, how much you want to pay us, and that only costs you 50 cents on our online payment platform. So that one's the cheapest version of making the payment online. And finally, we have several drop-off locations. Drop-off locations throughout the county. We have one in the Crua, which is in Sunland Park area, Santa Teresa. We have Lake Section Water in Chaparral. We have a drop-off location at the city of Anthony. We have a drop-off location with the Village of Hatch, where you drop off your payment, we pick them up and process them immediately as soon as we get those. And so this is an option that we have for those residents outside of the Las Cruces area. We have not forgotten you. We know that, driving all the way to Las Cruces just to post your payment is a little tedious, and with gas prices now, who wants to do that? So we have those convenient services options out there. Those are only available for 30 days, though, this during tax season. And yeah, we can't process that throughout the year. So we thank those, the Village of Hatch, the City of Anthony, Crua, Lake Section Water for allowing us to have a drop box service there in their locations. Finally, if you do want to come to the county, we do have 2 drop boxes. One at the very front when you're walking in through the doors, that you cannot miss them. You'll trip over them. And another one right in front of our office. You could drop your payment there. Again, we'll be able to process your payment immediately once we open those. Or if you'd like to come and say hello, I'm always happy to say hello to everybody. Come and see us in person. I do have a fair warning about coming in person. Staff shortages around the United States are real, and we are no exception to that. Unfortunately, we are a little understaffed during this time. So if you do come and stand in line, the wait times will be a little bit longer than usual. So I encourage our taxpayers to use our other payment options if possible.
Skip the line, save time.
Skip the line, save time. I like that. I like that slogan. We're gonna have to put it somewhere on our bill.
Just give me credit.
Yeah, I know.
You can give me credit 3 times, and then
What
it's
is
yours
it,
after that.
trademark, Anita? Okay, I'll do that. You got it.
Okay, so let's see if we have any questions coming in. Do we have anything so far? Okay. Is it on Facebook or Instagram? Instagram. All right. So our first question on Instagram, and I am going to shout you out, so be ready, listening for your answer. Can I get Instagram? Technology, it works when it works, right? Okay, so I think that was helpful. While I'm looking for this, though, why don't you talk a bit about where someone comes when they are coming into the building, because I find, what if it's someone who's paying property taxes for the first time? And I often will see people walking around looking for where they're supposed to go. Can you just give a little bit of distinction between, don't go to the assessor. Property taxes are assessed in one place, but actually, the payments are brought somewhere else.
Anita, I don't know if you wanted me to get into this, but I will, because I could go on for hours. So the difference between the county treasurer's office and the county assessor's office is that the county assessors, when you walk into the building, they're right to your left. And you might think, oh, there's the assessor's office, I'm going to go pay my taxes. The assessor's office is responsible for evaluating our properties. They are the ones that get your property values. They're the ones that determine who the proper owners are, what the addresses are. They're the ones that create the actual tax roll. They forward that tax roll to me once a year in October, and that already, when they forward a tax roll, I have the mill rates, I have the property values, and therefore I have an amount that I could create the tax bill. I am only on the collection side, and so when you walk into the building, if you walk a little bit further past the that horse, I forget what they call it.
The beaded horse.
The
horse. Beautiful one.
Yeah, you can't miss it also. You turn to your left, and we're right there. You'll see County Treasurer, the sign right there, and that is where you will be normally coming in to pay your property taxes. But yeah, some people, get confused with that distinction between the assessors and the county treasurer. County treasurer is solely responsible for collecting the property taxes. We don't do address changes here. That's also a big question that we do get. Address changes are actually processed at the county assessor's office. So if you need to look at your valuation, if you need to know who the bill is going to go to, what address is on file, who the owner is, that's all done from the assessor's point. To ensure that it is on the tax roll. We are solely for collection purposes here.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. But if you happen to forget what he just said, you can watch this on replay, or you just come in the building and one of our county employees would be happy to direct you to the correct place. So we have it's kind of a question slash comment from Zalvico on Instagram. Zalvico, I think we just answered this question, but I'll allow the treasurer to re-emphasize what he said earlier. He says, outsourcing data in a data science era?
Oh, no, no, absolutely not. Outsourcing data,
We're not
I'm not sure
outsourcing.
how to approach that one, but I could, let me repeat what the process is we are not outsourcing anything. We are still processing your payments here in-house. The checks that are going out physically to our bank. So look at it this way. You walk in to make your payment here with us at the county, you hand a check over, we post your payment, and we say, here's your receipt. That check, we then put it in the vault. The next day, we prepare a deposit. We have a courier services that picks that deposit up, takes it to the bank, which is a vault in El Paso, I believe. And the bank then runs that check through their whole processing system. Sometimes it gets sent out to other states to get cleared. Once that check clears, it clears your account, and then it posts on our account, and that's how we get our money. This lockbox service is simply the customer mailing the check from point A, which is their house, to point B, which is our bank, cutting us out completely. The bank simply sends us a list, and I can tell you exactly what's on this list. It's on the account number and the amount. There is no data exposure there. There's property owner's name, no checking information. As a matter of fact, this adds additional security because your checking information is handled only on the bank side, between your bank and our bank, and that's it. Nobody else is involved in that process. So there's no data sharing. There's nothing else like that. And the information that we get is simply the account number and the amount, and that is when we post it, and we know exactly who to credit the money for.
Thank you for that. And that's a great question because it did give you an opportunity to go further into that. And I would dare say, for those of you who are still, well, you're probably maybe living under a rock if you're not using a bank right now in some form. I mean, even if you don't choose to walk into a bank, you're doing some sort of banking, and that's being processed somewhere, and you may not
Very
even
true.
know where it's being processed.
Yep.
So we are being forthcoming about our process and how the bank handles it. But all of the banks, any kind of payments you're making to entities, those payments are being processed. So whether you have a physical bank you use or you're just making payments, utilities or something, everybody is processing a payment.
Yep.
So I'm glad that we had the opportunity to share with you. You see, we're not trying to hide anything. We're actually explaining the process so that we all can be on the same page here. But just understand that there's no funny business going on.
Well, and to add to that, Anita, we are a government entity. We are a public entity. So it's very important that we remain transparent, and also the will of the people is that their money stays in their community, And so I could see the red flags, the caution, the concerns that there is with, well, wait a minute, we're sending the payment to Los Angeles. But I hope that we're able to clarify that is not exactly what is happening, and that we appreciate being held accountable to ensure that we don't overstep our bounds and outsource property tax collections. But no, this is simply another way to make our job more effective, and therefore our service to the public more effective as well.
Yeah, and I hope you all didn't miss that he also mentioned staff shortages. And that's something that's being felt across the country, not just in Doña Ana County, not just in our treasurer's office, but it helps the team be more efficient as well, because our goal is to cut down on your wait time, the delays you experience that can often lead to further frustration. So this is allowing them to be more efficient all around. So we appreciate you all being
Yeah.
thoughtful about that.
And on the lockbox topic, let me add just one last thing. How much does this cost the taxpayers out there? I'm happy to say it costs you $0. Because we're using this service through our banking contract, we're able to get this at no cost to anybody, the taxpayer or us here at the county. And so that is the best part of this. We're getting this service that is very helpful to everybody at no cost.
Very good. And when you say at no cost, because I can already hear somebody saying, so
Well, somebody's got to
at
get
no
paid some money.
cost, does that mean we already paid for it? So it's included with your banking relationship.
The way,
right?
look at it this way. Do you pay any fees with your bank? Probably not, because you keep a
don't.
minimum balance,
Right.
or you have a direct deposit, something like that. It works very similar for commercial or government organizations like ourselves, where the bank will ask, well, if you keep a minimum balance. Normally, we have to keep minimum balance in our account to meet our accounts payables. We have payroll, we have all these distributions going out and accounts payables to our vendors. So we have to keep minimum balances. Now, minimum balances for us are in the millions of dollars. So if we're keeping those minimum balances already, the bank likes that, and that is they on the back end keeping that minimum balances are able to waive the fees for us, just like you and I would get a free checking account, a free debit card, free online services simply by having that minimum balance. And so we're getting away with that because of our operating balances that we have in our bank accounts.
Great. Thank you. I think that's a great comparison. So do we have any other questions that have come in? All right. So we have spoken with the treasurer. You have heard him talk about property taxes, due date no later than May 10th. If someone needs to hear this information for your Facebook groups, your Instagram friends, anyone else, please share this, because we want to make sure that we not only are transparent about what's going on at the county, but that we are educating you on how the process works so that you can realize that you are a big part of what we do here. We're working on behalf of the community. And so we want you to understand the process. It's never our goal for us to be here working and you're confused about something we're doing. So these lives give you an opportunity to hear the information directly from the people involved and also to bring your questions. So even if you have some questions after this and you're watching it on replay, please type your question in and we will still answer your question. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more questions, do you have anything you'd like to close us out with, Treasurer?
Sure, Anita. Thank you again, and your team for putting this together. If you guys are not tax experts by now, our office is always open. During tax season, we'll be a little bit harder to respond. But guys, we love talking about this. We love clarifying things, and we love reassuring the public that our number one priority is customer service. That has been our mission here in the Treasurer's office. So any feedback, any comments, any concerns, that's always stuff that we use to just improve our processes here. And as I said earlier, we're here for you as public servants. So thank you very much for attending this live broadcast.
All right. Thank you. And thank you all. Goodbye, Doña Ana County.